All right, so we recently attended the Pacific Coast Builders Conference, an annual event that we go to have a look at the latest and greatest in building products and technology, and we bumped into a fellow who is an inventor and the founder of a company called Warmboard, and we thought that it was interesting enough, since we ran out of time doing interviews, that we make some time to welcome Terry Alsberg to our program to share with you a little bit about his product. Terry, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hi, Terry. Tell us a little bit about your product.
Well, a radiant heat system really needs to do two things. It needs to operate well as a building product during construction and operate well for the next 100 years while you're heating your home. And so Warmboard, really the departure as a building product is that it is the structural subfloor that you nail down to your joist just as you would any other 4x8 sheet of structural subfloor. Cuts with a skill saw, nails with a nail gun. And once it's down, you press a tube into a pattern of grooves that's in the top surface. The entire top surface is covered with a thick plate of aluminum.
You're talking about the top surface of the plywood subfloor.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And once you press that tube in, you run hot water through it. The hot water heats the aluminum. The aluminum heats whatever you've nailed on top of it. And that could be hardwood, could be tile, could be carpet. A lot of people think that it's difficult to use hardwood or carpet with radiant. Actually, Warmboard works excellently with both hardwood and carpet.
You know what? I couldn't remember your product, Terry. Everybody said that's the Warmboard guy, and warm floor. What? And finally, when you mentioned the plywood, I recalled seeing your product and speaking with you, and boy, you're really quite an innovator. I'm really surprised that someone hadn't come along years before you with this, just routing out a groove for the tubing in plywood. Previously, the tubing always had to be coated with concrete, huh, James?
Well, coated with concrete, or there was an aluminum
or another floor built on top of it,
to be installed, or below the subfloor in some cases, which I think prevented the system from being as effective as this particular.
This is the most effective, simplest system I've ever seen for a wood floor application.
So in simple terms, and I know you have two profiles. You introduced one profile at the Pacific Coast Builders Conference, but Terry, it is a 4x8 sheet of plywood, tongue and groove, exterior grade, say CDX or something like that, or ACX, I don't know. And
the term for it is sturdy floor, but that's close enough.
Okay, it's sturdy floor.
Yeah, it
Fine.
is sturdy floor.
Sturdy floor. And then the plywood has grooves routed into it. And then a sheet of thick aluminum is on top of that that's bonded to the plywood. Then you install that right over your floor joist or your, TJI, whatever. And after that, then you install the PEX tubing in these grooves.
Correct.
And from there, you're ready to do your finished floor.
Yeah, you touched on the innovation a little bit earlier when you were talking about it. Before, radiant heat was always something that was added underneath the subfloor or put on top of the subfloor. It was never really an integral part of construction. In the United States, we build houses by a system called platform frame construction. It's what revolutionized home building about a century ago. It makes it extremely efficient to build a home. And the platform in that term refers to the subfloor itself. And so Warmboard's departure is that we are the platform. In fact, we sometimes call it radiant platform heating because it is so unique in that respect.
Yeah, that means you put the subfloor down, then you build your walls on top of the subfloor that has the spaces for the tubing in it. And once all the walls are down and you can put the tubing in, but beneath the bottom plate, and it's really an innovative deal, man.
So it's really done one of two ways. It's either done before any walls are put up, you put all the tubing in, and you nailed the walls right across the tubing. No, the tubing doesn't get damaged. It's easy to see the tubes.
Right.
Easy enough to nail them, and the walls can go across the tube, and they don't harm them.
Yes.
Or some people prefer to do it later on in the process, in which case we'll design it for you so that all the tubes lie within the walls, and the tubing can be put in later on in the process. And recently, we introduced a newer version of Warmboard for people who like to do retrofits, or a lot of times we do additions, which are new construction and remodels, and they wanted a product to use in the remodel space. So we came out with a product called Warmboard-R, which is a 2x4 sheet that's about 3/4 of an inch thick. And it is more like some of the other systems that go on top of subfloor, but it matches up thermodynamically very nicely with Warmboard because it has the same thick aluminum. And that's the heart of what makes it work, is that the job of a radiant panel is to conduct heat from water in a tube to the surface of your floor. In the past, we used concrete. And there's a reason why we make frying pans out of aluminum and not concrete.
Right.
The job is to conduct heat, and the aluminum does so much better of a job of it. And that's really better for your energy bills. We recently hear numbers that anywhere from 25 to 40% energy savings on retrofit projects when they've added Warmboard over forced air.
Now this product, James, and in my estimation, this product, and Terry's not paying to be on.
No,
he's on because we thought his
not
product
yet.
was great.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, not yet. The thing that makes this product interesting to me is that I've always loved to have a home with a wood floor because it flexes and, kind of arthritic.
Right.
And the wood floor flexes and concrete floors don't. And although I know that's the preponderance of floors being built today, there's still more wood floors in America than concrete. And this makes radiant heating, which is the premier kind of heating, it makes it affordable and workable for every American.
And before we go, Terry, cost. Have you done cost studies with regard to this product installed as opposed to traditional systems? Is it more expensive? Is it
traditional
about the
radiant
same?
heat?
Is it what have you got?
Well, we have over 23 million square feet of Warmboard in service, so we have quite a database that we've analyzed, and we do call up all of our customers and we ask what is the total installed cost, which is the most important number because you want to know what does it cost with our product plus the boiler plus the pumps and the tubing and everything else. And it usually is between $10 and $15 a square foot is a good budget. And then we've also looked at the other systems. They're all between $10 and $15 a square foot also.
All right. Very good.
James, if this were hamburgers, comparing to McDonald's, if this were hamburgers, saying 6 hamburgers per square foot, that's 150 million. So in other words, Terry is on his way, wouldn't you say?
You certainly are, Terry.
Yeah.
Terry Alsberg, he is the CEO and founder of Warmboard, and you can get more information on their product, interestingly, by visiting warmboard.com. Terry, thanks for taking time to join us.
Stuff,
we appreciate
Terry.
it. Good luck to you.
So much for having me.
All right.